guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and welcome back to my channel where I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time. I know, I say that a lot, but honestly, I do so many different things and spread them out over a long period of time where everything becomes something I haven't done in a long time. It's weird. I'm not sure if you remember, but this was a pretty popular video I did, I think like 4 or 5 months ago, and it was me comparing the fastest car or the fastest cars in every rarity rank based on paper stats. So the last time I did 0 to 60, so basically I did, I think, the best commons, the highest or the lowest 0 to 60, and then we moved all the way up to legendary. So basically what we're going to do today is use that same format, but this time I'm going to show you the top 5 cars for every rarity that has the best handling. Handling, I would say, out of the 3 on paper stats you can see, which is top speed, 0 to 60, and handling, I think it just carries a little more weight than the other two. Why I say that is because majority of the races in top drives are twisty, and because of that I feel like handling is a very, very important component, especially for G-force and twisty circuits and twisty tracks. And obviously twisty circuits just in general are lifesavers, because if you want to do strategical losses where you only lose by 50, twisty cars and twisty tracks are the way to go to feed those strategical losses. So what I have today are, once again, my notes. I got a whole page of them where I can tell you basically all the cars here, and you can see their on paper stats, but I can also tell you all their I guess hidden stats, so like their weight and their MRA. So with that said, let's start off with the commons. The first car that we have, and I'm doing 5 cars for each rarity, and yeah, first one is the Rover 200. This car weighs 1020 kg and has an MRA of 43.44. I know, it's yuck, but what makes this car stands out obviously is it has a handling of 76, and I think the highest handling car for the common range is 77. This car also is medium ground clearance and has standard tires, so you can use it in the rain, and it's pretty grippy, so that's really nice. Moving on to the fourth one, or in 4th place, we have the Pontiac Trans Am Firebird, or the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. This is my favorite common. I have 2 of these maxed out. It has a decent 0 to 60. It has a top speed of at least 100, so that's nice. And handling of 76, not 86, can you imagine that? Handling of 76, rear wheel drive performance tire, low ground clearance. What really brings this thing down, I think, is the rear wheel drive. Not even the rear wheel drive, but just the performance tires and the low ground clearance, because a lot of just common cars, you know, one of their traits of being common is, besides being crap, they have standard tires and medium ground clearance, which is good for the rainy stuff, but the Firebird doesn't have that. The Firebird also has a horrendous MRA, 35.6. That's bad. And it weighs, it's pretty heavy as well. It's 1,301 kilograms, and all these MRA and weights, they're all stock. They're obviously going to change once you put some upgrades into them, but it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite common car, and it is very grippy. Moving on to 3rd place, where the common range is the Mitsubishi Mirage. It has 76. It weighs 845 kg, so it's a light boy, and an MRA of 43.81. So a bit yucky as well, but it does have that standard tire medium ground clearance, but most of them do. Anyway, in 2nd place is, with 77 handling, is the Honda Beat. It has 760 kg, or it weighs 760 kg, and it has no MRA because you can't really test it because it doesn't have a top speed of 100. This car, however, is indeed Top Drive's royalty, and I'm sure a lot of you were mad or disappointed when I said the Trans Am was my favorite common and not the Honda Beat. I don't know, let me know down in the comments below, do you guys prefer the Honda Beat or the BMW Isetta? Which one do you think is just more godly? I still think it's the Honda Beat. It's been there since day one. It's an OG, and you know, I've seen the car in real life, so I gravitate towards that. Alright, and last one for to wrap up common ranks, we have the Ford Focus Coupe Cabriolet. From 2007, it has a top speed of over 113, but that's not what we're looking for. The main thing here is handling, and it hits 77. I think maxed out is like 85, 969, and maybe 86. 6699, something like that. Also, front wheel drive, center tires, medium ground clearance. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best common cars in the game, because aside from, you know, it has the best handling of 77 and a lower 0 to 60 than the Honda Beat, and actually has a top speed of over 100, it has an MRA of 60. I know 60 isn't the nicest of MRAs, but when we talk about common, 60 is not bad, considering the other cars are 43, 35, 43, and NA. So this is a good one, the Ford Focus Coupe Cabriolet, so I'll be looking out for that, and you guys should too. Moving on to uncommons now, top 5 most grippy or most handling commons. We start off with the AutoZam AZ1. It starts off strong with 79. It has a MRA of NA, and it weighs 720 kilograms. It's also a standard tire beast. Also, followed by that is the Ford Focus 10.3060, 79 handling once again. It weighs 1,316 kilograms and has an MRA of 64.74. In third place for the common ranks is the DS4, 79 handling once again, standard tires, front wheel drive. It weighs 1,365 kilograms and has an MRA of 63.24. Now, moving on, we have our first car that hits 80, and our only car, the only uncommon car that has 80 handling stock, the DS5. This car is actually very good. I have this maxed out. 89 handling, standard tires, and I think it has medium ground clearance. It's a very decent car, and it's French. So if you know I have a French car maxed out, it is a very good French car, because I wouldn't max out a French car because I hate them. That's it. Moving on is the the grippiest, or the car of the most handling in uncommon, or in the uncommon ranks, and that is the Mazda Yunus Roadster RS Limited. 10.10 to 60, but that's not what we're looking for. The best thing here is 81 handling. The only uncommon with 81, and yeah, it's like one of two uncommons that has handling of 80 or more. It's a slalom king in the rain. It even beats like the McLaren 720S. I have a screenshot of it somewhere, but that was taken like months ago, so I probably can't find it anymore. Anyway, let's move on to rare. Starting on in 5th place, we have the Chevrolet Code 130R. This is a car I have a very strange relationship with. I've wanted this for the longest time. I've even had it. I've had it in my garage for the longest time. I've sold like 10 codes in my Top Drive's lifespan. I've had one in my garage for like 3 months. I kept it locked, but I never maxed it out, and then one day I needed garage slots and I sold it. And until today, I still don't have one code maxed out. Why? I just have no sentimental feeling towards this car. Never really knew it existed until it came to Top Drives, but it has very good stats. 81 handling, stock is very strong. It weighs 1,300 and has an MRA of 74.23. 74.23 is not bad at all, if you ask me. Now, moving on to 4th place, this is one that kind of took me by surprise because of how light it is and how grippy it is. It's the Vauxhall Chevette HSR, 82 handling stock, and weighs 980 kilograms, so less than a ton, which is insane. MRA of 60.64, so not very strong. Moving on is the Mazda RX-8. I do have this maxed out, 91 handling, maxed out 969. It weighs 1,350 kg and has an MRA of 65.56. In 2nd place is the Ford Focus ST170. I think this car is hideous. I'll never have it. But this is a campaign car. You can get this from the boss race, I think, unless they changed it, but at least I could have. Handling 82. I think the next car is 83, but I can't remember. 82. Decent medium ground clearance. It weighs 1,208 kilograms and has an MRA of 66.27, but number 1 comes to, indeed has 83, the Mazda MX-5 BBR Turbo. Honestly, one of my favorite rares in the game. I love the BBR. It's so cute. Look at it. It's so happy. 83 handling, top of its class. No other rare has 83 handling. It's super light as well. It has a 985 kg, that's how much it weighs, so less than a ton, and has an MRA of 56.48. So not very strong with MRA, but once again, this is a twisty car, and I use it all the time. Anyway, let's move on to super rares. We start off, and now guys, I have to say word of warning. There are a lot of French cars in this list, so I do have my puke bucket next to me, and I kind of do feel like puking right now because I've just seen too many French cars where my eyes are starting to bleed and my throat is... I'll try my best to get through without attacking them too much, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we'll start with the Renault R21 Turbo Europa Cup. 85 handling stock, very, very impressive. The car is also very light, coming in at 1,050 kilograms, and has an MRA of 60.37, so the MRA on this car is actually weak. When you put into comparison, the Chevrolet Code has a better MRA. But this C2R2 is worse in the MRA ranks and has 50.52. God, that is bad. But this is not probably, in my opinion, this is the best RQ15 car in Top Drives, as much as I hate to give it to it because it's so ugly. But the C2R2 Citroen weighs 1030 kg. I already told you the MRA is about like 50 something and has an MRA of 85. Really, honestly, I think it's the best RQ15. This or like the Miura Speedster or the El Camino. Actually, the El Camino sucks. The only great thing about El Camino is like the best quarter-mile car in Super Rare, I'm pretty sure. I know it's better than the Miura, better than the Plymouth Superbird, and better than the ZR2. Anyway, moving on is the Mazda RX-8 Spirit R. This is the car in third place with 86 handling, very, very impressive. Has a MRA of 60.5 and weighs 1,306 kilograms. Moving on to second place, and this is a very exclusive club. Only two Super Rares share a handling of 88, which is insane because when we move to Ultra Rare, in fifth place is actually 87. So these cars actually have more handling than some, or at least one, of the top handling Ultra Rares, which is insane. So Renault Sport Clio Cup car used to be a Ultra Rare, but then it got bumped down because it went from performance to slicks, has 88 handling, it weighs, I can't even read my own handwriting, but I think it's 1,065, and has an MRA of 68.18, and now one car that actually is like 100 times more aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, the Jaguar XJS Trans Am. 88 handling as well, but this one is a very heavy car, and it surprised me, honestly, and it's very heavy. It's 1,800 kilograms. Very heavy. But it also has an impressive MRA. I didn't know the MRA on this car would be that good. 81.02. So that is actually decent, coming in with 88 handling. So this and the Renault Clio Cup car are your grippiest Super Rares, or the Super Rares of the most handling. Anyway, let's move on to Ultra Rare now. We start off with the Fiat 030, starting off with 86, actually, not even 87. So that just shows how good the XJS and the Citroen are. Was it a Citroen? No, it was a Renault, sorry. I don't know my French cars. 030. Weighs absolutely nothing, 910 kg, MRA of 70.59, solid car. Moving on to fourth place in the Ultra Rare ranks is the Renault Sport Megane R26.R, 87 handling, 1,252 kg, and an MRA of 62.42. Followed by that is another Renault brethren, the Sport Megane 4 RS. Actually, I should switch the other two around because the other Megane is better, sorry. But, you know, these two come hand in hand. This one is 1,407 kilograms and has a way better MRA, actually 76.59. That's actually not bad. I'm not gonna lie, this car is actually pretty decent, as much as I hate to admit it. Anyway, moving on is the Lotus 340R. 87 handling. This thing just, it's so light, honestly. 675 kilograms and an MRA of 58.82. And the only car that hits 88 actually, for Ultra, and this is the same handling as the XJS and the Renault Clio Cup, and that is actually the Renault Sport Megane 275 Trophy R. Hits 88 handling, it weighs 1,297 kg, I like that number a lot, and has an MRA of 64.36. Very nice picture as well. Now, let's move on to Epics, and my god, please, no more Renaults. It's actually killing me. I hate them, but we gotta go. Starting off with Epics, we start off with the 89 handling Banana. There were a lot. Now, when we move to Epics and Legendaries, I have to say I'm not counting prize cars, okay? A lot of prize cars are like the most grippiest ones out of the lot, out of the ranks. But just to keep it fair, I'm not gonna count prize cars. And I know when it came to epics, there were like a handful of epics that actually hit 89 handling. The banana wasn't the only one, but I chose the banana because the banana was the best out of its competition, which really pained me because I really wanted to follow my heart and choose the RSR for top 5. But the Magon is better. The banana is just better than the RSR. I couldn't choose the RSR just for unbiased reasons. So the banana, let me tell you the stats if you guys don't know already. MRA of 95.7, which is just what? And it weighs less than a ton, 955 kilograms. This car is a must-have. Don't know why it's RQ25. Should be 26 if anything. Moving on though is the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Has 90 handling. We are now going to the 90 club. Only a handful of stock cars can hit 90 on base. This GT3 85 MRA and weighs 1,375 kilograms. Moving on is the Lotus 211 Supercharged, once again in Team 90, has 69 MRA and weighs 745 kg. Now the next two are heavy hitters, cars I don't have but I really want. We start off with the Caterham Superlight R500. Once again, 90 handling, but has a 0 to 60 of 2.9. God damn. This was probably in the 0 to 60 video I did a while back as well. MRA, it's horrible, 57.02, but who cares about that? Because this thing weighs 506 kilograms. 506! That is mad. And of course, we end with the Mazda Furai. Slick tires, 92 handling right here. Same stock handling as the Viper ACR actually. It has a 0 to 60 of 3.5, which is okay. MRA of 67.9, and it weighs 657 kg. This Mazda Furai truly is a keeper. Now, moving on to the legendary ranks, and God, I really wanted to put the ACR in this, but the ACR just missed out because the ACR has 92, and in legendaries the top 5 starts with 93. Once again, a lot of prize cars in here, but I omitted all of them. We're only doing non-prize cars. We start with the McLaren 720S, 93 handling, weighs 1419 kg, and has an MRA of 87, followed by its McLaren brethren, the 675 LT, also 93, has much better MRA of 101.5, and it weighs 1,358 kg. Moving on is the Lamborghini Centenario, the only Lamborghini in the list. These aren't the most handling cars, so I'm actually pretty surprised that one car actually made it. The Centenario at 93 once again has, or weighs, 1,635 kg, so it is pretty heavy, and has 91.22 MRA. Now, let's move on to the top 2 most handling or grippiest cars in the game. We start off with the Ford GT. It's a huge shocker. I still honestly am like surprised at how good this Ford GT or the Ford GT is, considering it has like a V6 EcoBoost or something. It's like the Ford GT is like, I guess if the Ford GT was a human, he would be like one of the strongest people in the world, but then you later find out that his diet is literally just cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. No protein at all, but somehow he makes it, and the world doesn't know how. Ford GT weighs 1,385 kilograms and has an MRA of 98.98. I like that a lot. 9898, 93. Now, moving on, ending it off with 95 handling. That is just, this is the grippiest car in the game. It has the highest amount of handling, and that is 95. I mean, not the highest amount in the game, sorry, I guess the highest attainable amount. I think the highest like stock amount, including prize cars, is 98, which I think is like is a BMW or something like that. But in terms of attainable cars, it is the Porsche 962C, 2.70 to 60, 95 handling, weighs absolutely nothing, 900 kg. Obviously, it has won Le Mans, I think more than once, and has an MRA of it's insane. MRA of 104. It's a crazy car, it's 962. I really want it. I'll max it out in a heartbeat. But that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Something special here, just I guess a statistical rundown of every grippy, handly car that you can get in Top Drive. So hopefully you can try and get as many of these as you possibly can. And with that said, I hope you have a great day. Consider subscribing, and blossom out.